back to the third episode of Chats with me.
I'm like, oh man, I don't want them to really see me like as a Christian.
Right,
like,
absolutely.
I want them to just see me as a regular, which is okay.
Yeah.
But like when people like see us, like they've got to stop and they're like, all right, hold on. Like there's something like different.
Fast forward, when you look at the brothers today, a lot of times we are called to be a light in the world. But what's happened so much, and we see it running rapidly in the church, is that maturity hasn't been built into brothers strong enough to where they can actually survive in environments and be influential.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on with you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you call somebody and you're like, I don't have to give an explanation, click. They may see you later and it's like, oh well, there is a change, but is that change going to compel them to do the exact same thing?
Yeah, like I'm involved in my church now. I'm just like, why the heck weren't you involved in the church back in 2000? But you really don't know like what that experience can do for somebody else.
Yeah. Right. And the crazy thing that's awesome about it is that the power of God gets elevated to be able to affect people's lives.
Yeah.
They see that there's I can see a change. Like when I went back to friends, like they could just see the difference. Like this is not something that I'm not faking about this.
Right.
You can feel an uncompromised conviction about what God has done. Like God did something. Like I don't know what He did. It's clear.
Yeah.
Like there's a God. Because see, I know what you were doing, how you were doing it, all this stuff, and you're telling me this brother is like this now, and you can say it's possible for that other person that's in the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it's compromised, the power of God is diminished when in your life to be able to affect other people's.
Yeah.
And I know you asked earlier, but that's kind of something that I was thinking when you asked what are some stereotypes or what are some things that are linked. I think that fake is linked to women in the church, you know what I'm saying? Because and it's like everything that we're talking about, because it's things that we haven't gotten out of us, and so we do go out there and we do mess up, and so it's like oh, he's supposed to be da 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 da, and the Bible don't say you're supposed to do, and it's like dang, like and then it goes back to the killing your witness, it goes back all these other things, and then you kind of just in your mess, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that whole being fake aspect, I know it all in all, like true and well, like what that is. So that's
Can I say this? I'm indifferent. I just am. I mean, I believe there has to be a separation, an understanding of separation. But what happens is, and we talked about this on the radio show, what happens is a lot of the times, when you come to God, or when you come to church, or when you're around these new sphere of people, church people, it's almost like you have to stop becoming human. Mm-hmm. And I understand the separating, in your own mind and stuff that has to go on to where, there's a literal change that's going on inside of you. But what happens is a lot of time we come to God and we become aliens, like unrelatable. Like you're not relatable to these people anymore. So I'm all about connecting with people because they don't understand.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on with you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you call somebody and you're like, I don't have to give an explanation, click. They may see you later and it's like, oh, well, there is a change, but is that change going to compel them to do the exact same thing?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I know there's people like for me, if I would have done that with my best friend, his name is Drew, known him since 4th grade. If I would have done that with Drew and been like, yo, like I'm on this God tip now, this is what it is, I don't want nothing to do with you, what would our relationship be like now? Now, he noticed there was something different about me. I wasn't going to parties. I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing any of that kind of stuff. But I still loved him. I didn't diminish that relationship. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, you fast forward, he's going to church with me, saved, baptized, filled with the Holy Ghost, attends church, and he's in the group and all that kind of stuff. That's God's doing.
Yeah.
What happens is, you see, we come into God, bro, and we want that light that you were talking about. It's about us now. Now I have to obtain this level of, like I talk about, this perfection, and it's unrealistic. Yeah. You're unrecognizable. How can you relate to somebody who don't know nothing about the God that you serve?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm all about, and I'm not saying you still act like the world, you still dress like the world, you still sin like the world, all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, as a male, you still have male inclinations. Yeah. Be relatable. Keep it real. You see what I'm saying? Like you still think about sex. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now I may not commit the act because I'm changing. I'm trying to change. I want to change. But we're scared to talk about it. We don't talk about pornography no more. We don't talk about sex before marriage no more. We don't talk about adultery. We don't talk about any of that kind of stuff anymore. And then you almost become unrelatable.
Yeah.
So like I said, when I'm in my ministry or whatever, I'm all about connecting, not stooping to the point of sin. I'm not gonna go sin with you, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You have to accurately discern
That's what I'm
the
saying.
situation
Understand.
calls for.
Exactly.
You can't always and believe you me, I know there were certain people I just stopped talking to. I didn't even call them and tell them. I just stopped. I just stopped it because I knew that there were certain things that we did together that if I continue to talk to you somewhere or another, I'm gonna find my way back into that situation.
Exactly.
So it takes maturity to know exactly what the situation is and what it calls for. And then it's great if you have someone who can mentor you and tell you, hey, look, listen, them over there, not right now.
Right.
You just need to let them be. Come on over here and handle your business. Then you go back over there.
Exactly.
Because the scripture talks about us being all things to all men.
Right.
And if we can't do that and be relatable, like you're saying, that's what the scriptures talk about. We have to be able to bring it down to people's level so that they can understand. I can't walk into. I can't just walk up to somebody and start speaking in tongues to them and just blah 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 blah, and they're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy. That's the problem.
Right.
The church.
Say it.
Young church people and the church in general, we make a mockery of God. Because we take what he's given us as a gift to help us to do what he's called us to do, and then slap it in front of people's faces and say, you ain't got what I got, so that makes you not good enough. And then it causes people to feel like they're not good enough. And then the condemnation then creeps in.
And they don't want nothing
to do with the God you serve.
Not even just the church.
Just people in general. So then if we come off ugly, or if the spirit does not have love connected to it, then that's how people all the time, every day, look at us, look, and keep going, because they don't want nothing to do with what we trying to give them. And it's supposed to be the thing that gives them life and life more abundantly.
That's what I'm talking
about. What I see with some new people, what I see with a lot of new people is that it's almost like a phase or a cycle that happens where we get fresh into God and we're just zealous. All we see is everything's holy. It's holy. And it's good. It's good. It's good. It's a good thing because God put holiness, love for God inside of them, but it's immature. Always have movie nights. And we used to watch all kinds of stuff. Horror movies, all kinds of just crazy stuff. Demonic, whatever. Now, when I got saved, I was like, I don't want to watch those no more. And I didn't say anything to my family, but it kind of started a separation. I was like, everybody downstairs kicking and watching movies. Harvey's just upstairs like, dang, I want to kick it with my family, but I'm not about to sit and watch this demonic movie. But long story short, my love for my family was able to win them to the Lord. They're now serving the Lord now. But initially, that zeal in a lot of people kind of turns people off, and it takes time to say, you know what, let me get the love of God, let me learn how to not judge this person that was in sin, because that's what it took to draw me. The person that drew me he spent time with me. He spent a lot of time with me. He never compromised, and that was so powerful because I never saw a compromise, but he was involved with me. Anytime I would recommend, hey, let's go do this, because I was just living in the world, he was like, well, nah, I'm not going to do that, but we can go do this. He would do it in such a way that I didn't even notice it. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go do that. And I didn't know he was drawing me on, but he never left my side. And, that's what he had love and compassion. A lot of people, because they go through that initial stage, they don't know how to discern what's going on with them, and they just start running rapid. That's why,
But that takes, like you said, you had someone with you. So there was somebody who ministered the gospel to you, and then took you up under basically their wing and said, listen, this is how we have to do this thing now. We can't really act like we can do this by ourselves if we've never seen it done. Just like a baby trying to walk. The baby don't just come out the womb walking. A father comes along and helps him. The mother comes along and helps him, stands him up, let him, wiggle. If he fall, boom, he hits the ground, he's standing back up. He's crawling around you, picking him up, you're putting him in positions to stand and hold himself up because he's learning. The whole time he's learning. So eventually, when he knows and it comes all into play, now he's saying, I can do this by myself. I don't need your help no more. Nah, move out the way. And he begins to walk. But it takes time. It takes someone taking you, helping you to understand that you can do this thing.
I know you're trying to get to
it. We have one more minute on this topic.
Real quick. Y'all talking about, people who are new to come to the Lord, have a whole bunch of zeal. I want to touch on those who have been there 10, 15, however many years. You've been saved all these years. Man, you talked about coming down. That mindset is what I'm talking about, that coming down mindset. though the Father already knows how to walk, does the Father still struggle? Yes, he knows how he knows how to walk, but he still struggles.
Right.
Now the struggle is different, but there's still a struggle going on. There is no, I don't have to come down.
Right.
I am just like you.
Right.
Yeah.
My struggle may be different, but I'm just like you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I wouldn't say my goal is, but I just get frustrated, man, about the perception of, now that I'm saved, I got most of it together and you don't.
Right.
I got more of it together than you. No, man. Yeah. Like, as a man, you married 20 years, you're never gonna lose the desire or whatever that beast inside of you to look at another woman or something like that.
Yeah.
God can change it. I believe God can change it. But I deal with people in the barbershop all the time, been married 20 plus years. And they like, sometimes I still want to, watch porn. Yeah. I love my wife to death, but sometimes, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. As a Christian, I could be like, oh, man, you're not supposed to do that, man. Like, hey, the God this and God that. But at the end of the day, they see right through that. They're like, you're not being real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the other day, you was wrestling with that.
Yeah.
Or you just cussing, like we talked about. You cuss somebody on the highway. You know what I mean? So there is no stooping down. My struggle is just different. Yeah. And I've had an encounter with God, and now I recognize. Now I'm God conscious. Yeah. You need to be God conscious so that when this stuff happens, your struggle happens, you trust and rely on God.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my struggle is not. I'm not better because my struggle is different. Right. And see how it's different from those who have zeal at the beginning. It's like, I don't understand that those, because you're in church, you go every Sunday, it becomes routine, and my routine is a little bit different than yours. Yeah. That'll make you better.
Well, I think it's also just like having a new toy. I'm sorry. It's just like you having a new toy. Like, you get something new. I know. This is my third. I promise I'm moving.
30 seconds.
We have new things that we buy, that we get. Christmas just came around. You might have gotten a new car, new clothes, whatever. And you ready to take them out and show them to everybody.
Right.
But you don't understand that maybe this ain't for the exact season that you want to wear it in. So it doesn't always mean, hey, let's put on a sweater and it's 95 degrees outside. Right. No. Right. Save that sweater for later on. Yeah. But that takes time. Right. It's all about taking time. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right.
We can talk about relationships.
Chats with me.
We have to move on, but y'all said some real stuff. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Thank y'all, because I learned a lot.
Yeah, and you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Chats with me.
Okay, so my next question is, in your opinion, is the church doing a good job making Christianity appealing to young men? Oh, do they embrace young men in the church?
Yeah, you got
and we're gonna do this in a good vibe, okay?
So what you said is the church. One more time. What was the question?
In your opinion, is the church doing a good job appealing Christianity to young men? Are they embracing young men in the church?
That's a good question. Let's drop it.
I don't.
I really feel. I feel like I don't think that the church is doing a good job, because it's like it's almost compromising. In some churches, compromising by adding worldliness. I seen people doing the whip and the nee in church. And that kind of bothered me, because it's like secular. It's secular. I mean, teaching young men that they get the perception like they grow up not knowing how to separate secular and sacred. I don't know.
I think this actually ties with the last question, man. What's the question again? I'm sorry.
They tie together.
Is the church doing a good job? So I think we have to know how to love brothers. We have to learn how to love them. Yeah. And I think kind of what Trent is even saying is that a lot of times we love people, including brothers, in a compromised way, and so we win them to almost a compromised gospel or a compromised walk, and so and they don't know any better. The Bible calls it being a twofold child of hell. They don't know any better. They, you know what I'm saying, they know what they know because we told them, but that's all they know of God. And so I think by doing a better job, the church needs to be proactive in men's lives. Yeah. Men are, especially this generation, has a lot of fatherless men.
Preach.
That doesn't have mentors. That have people that are invested in them. Right. And so we have to do a better job of being aggressively involved in brothers' lives. You know, take them on, and I could go back to me, man. And when I look back at how I came to God, it was nothing but those people that were just like, and I didn't even know what was happening. I don't know if they did it intentionally or they were like, okay, we gotta make sure we love this brother. You know how we do in the church. We got our plans, how we win people to God. But I was just going fake. You see what I'm saying? Whatever it is. But this person genuinely loved me. He took me under and took me in, was checking on me. I mean, I'm talking about even the elders called me up, hey, what do you need? And it wasn't about, are you out of sin? Are you still sinning? It was just so much, I'm here to invest in you. I'm here to invest in you. Yeah, I know you're not perfect, but I'm here to invest in you. You want some help? You have some questions? I'm here to give some answers. You want to go out to lunch? I'm taking you and I'm investing in you. And I think the church needs to do a better job of that. Needs to do a better job of mentoring brothers.
We got to talk right to men. We're not really, the church is more into demographics. Like, oh, youth, young adults, singles, married. It's like this, but like we're not talking to men, and like men have issues, especially like black men. Like right now, like how do you as a pastor or as a leader talk to a young African American like when you see like our peers getting shot on TV, like going home while driving, like as an unarmed black man, like what does the church know about what I'm thinking about right now? Like, you know, we have to do a better job. Like our pastors going around like talking to young men like, hey, like, you know, like, are you okay? Like, are you drinking and driving? Like, are you like, not even like you said, not even just that, like, but like, hey, like, let's go kick it. Like, we have to speak more to the man, like, Christian heart, because like it's honestly difficult, like, to be like to be a strong Christian man these days, like, because it's being so like desensitized, like, because, like, people like, oh well, like they're lifting their hands and like they're, you know, they're crying and stuff like that. Like, although like for us that's strength, it could be sometimes like perceived as weakness. So like we have to do a better job of like speaking directly to the man heart and the man mind, like the man body. Like we have to speak more directly to those things instead of like just dancing around it in demographics.
Yeah, I think the strange thing about having communication from the pulpit, a lot of times the man or the woman or whoever it is speaking to the language of the people who they see. So if they see a bunch of women, they're going to talk about women stuff. You single, raising them babies by yourself, waiting on your child support. Come on, lift your hands. God's going to pay your child support. And the man is sitting there like, well, I pay child support. I got kids. My baby mama ain't paying child support. So it's just, they just look at it from a practical sense. People don't always look at stuff from a spiritual place because they don't all the way know yet. So a lot of them just sit there and just listen to what comes out of your mouth. And if what comes out of your mouth is speaking more towards one side than the other, then you lost me. This church ain't for me. So then most of the men are coming and they never feel like anything is geared towards them. The one time they get something is like on a Wednesday night Bible study or something. Oh, we got the men class over here and the women class over here. Come on, man. And then you got a bunch of men in there, 80, 90 years old, talking about back pain and, oh, I need a pad when I sit down because I need some big gap. And then the age gap is different. So then the young man comes in there and says, what are we talking about? I'm single, I got a baby mama, and I ain't paid my bills on time this month. So what's going on? While the Air Force retiree sergeant up there talking like I hate my wife. And then it doesn't connect. There's no real connection because people aren't telling the truth.
Straight up.
They speak to their pocketbook rather than what really is hurting them or helping them in their spirit. That's the problem in the church at large. We speak to a monetary situation. We speak to things that can help us grow our church as far as money and being exclusive and we the best church in the city. But we don't never build people from their spirit.
From the inside.
We don't build from where they come from and what they really deal with. So then the problem comes in is when now we're looking for men to then respond with their money or whatever, and they don't because they don't feel like they're being spoken to. How can you ask me to do something and you don't ever speak to me? It's crazy. You get on the phone and you call somebody who you ain't talked to in years or months, and then you sit up there trying to be like, hey, yo, bro, hey, man, my lights, man, can you give me like $200? Who is this? Because you don't delete their number at your phone. It's the same way in the body of Christ. You can't expect somebody to give you something if you've never even looked out for them in the first place.
And I think that's something that as far as with your question, is it appealing or not even appealing? Is it?
The question was. We go back. In your opinion, is the church doing a good job making Christianity appealing to young men? Not the church, but Christianity as a whole, appealing to young men.
And so, like, you know, barbershop talk, just talks in general. It's like the thing that you always hear is, man, it's so judgmental, or it's just so it's just so fraudulent. Like, they don't give you, and it's so true. And it makes me think of, like, when you go to, say you were going and you wanted to be an NBA player, anything, right? You can't just go to practice and not practice and then think that you're going to be on that level. And I know it's like, I don't understand, Anthony. But it's just, you can't, like real talk, you have to engage in actions to get there, and somebody has to teach you. And with that brings me to discipleship. That brings me to so many things where you're right. There is no love, or the only time that they do want to call you is, hey, the Lord put on my. No, I told somebody else that I'm going to do that. Somebody told you, and now the Lord can tell you nothing. Right. Ain't no spirit of discernment. Yeah. Somebody told me you were sleeping with such and such. The Lord put it on my heart. No, they ain't going to told pastor, and that pastor told but that's what it comes down to. Don't just speak to me like you said when it's a negative. When it's a negative, or love me, say, hey, man, I'm proud you took 2 steps today. Not hey, you took 3 steps yesterday, so we're gonna talk to that. Because then it's like, well, the only time you want to speak to me is in this situation, and that's not in any relationship. That's never how it is. Like how you talking about with your homeboy Drew. With anybody, with any relationship, it's good and bad. It's like, yo, I'm gonna lift you up here, and yo, I congratulate you here. Not just I'm gonna beat you down and say, oh, everything you're doing wrong. So I think that's a lot of reason why men aren't in church, because it's like, man, all they want to do is talk about the wrong thing I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
And the man is gonna be like, come on, man, how you gonna magnify or highlight my lifestyle? Right. And what's yours look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to tell me just because I don't even know you.
What's going on in your life? What's that color for?
Right. Exactly. When you come to these church meetings or whatnot, and we're talking about being real, just being transparent. There's you get, like you said, judged, but in the church there, you get categorized. You get put in the category, and that's just who you are. Well, depending on whatever you're dealing with, depending on your strong suits, your weak, whatever your weak in, you get categorized. And so I don't think it's the church. The church is doing a good job. And I'm not talking about a building. I'm talking about people. I'm calling out people to the camera. Y'all looking, church folks don't do a good job of discipling. Discipling saved my life. I didn't have a father growing up. You know what I'm saying? Church wasn't appealing because I got a suit on, I'm saved. If I don't, I'm not saved. If my skirt is long enough, I'm saved. If it's not, I'm not saved. All this up and down, you know what I mean? I just saw it as rules. And we've all heard it, rules without relationship lead to rebellion. Yeah. And so because there was no relationship that was being built there, I was like, man, forget y'all. I ain't got no daddy. The only person I got to respond to is, my mama. Right. Forget y'all. Forget what y'all talking about. So when somebody came alongside of me and said, every step of the way, this is what changed my life. Somebody came to me every step of the way and said, I understand. I understand. I see where you at. I'm watching you. You're good. You're in the will of God. Stay where you're at. You're young. You're supposed to mess up. You're supposed to be where you're at. You see what I'm saying? I can relate. I was there. Not, well, this is what scripture says about this. This is what pastor said last week about this. This was so-and-so. No, I don't want to hear that.